Om Sai Ram. This is Sri Sai Satcharitra, Chapter 4. Sai Baba's First Advent in Shirdi. Mission of the Saints. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that whenever there is a decay of dharma and an ascendancy of righteousness, I manifest myself, and for the protection of virtuous and the destruction of vicious, and for the establishment of righteousness, I manifest myself in age after age. This is the mission of Lord and sages and saints who are his representatives and who appear here at proper times, help in their own way to fulfill that mission. For instance, when the twice born, that is, the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas neglect their duties, and when the Shudras try to usurp the rights of the higher classes, when spiritual preceptors are not respected but humiliated, when nobody cares for religious instructions, when everybody thinks himself very learned, when people begin to partake of forbidden foods and intoxicating drinks, when under the cloak of religion people indulge in malpractices, when people belonging to different sects fight among themselves, when Brahmins fail to do Sandhya adoration and the orthodox and their religious practices, when yogis neglect their meditation, when people begin to think that wealth, progeny, wife are their sole concern and thus turn away from the true path of salvation, then do saints appear and try to set matters right by their words and action. They serve us as beacon lights and show us the right path and the right way for us to follow. In this way, many saints such as Nivritti, Jnanadev, Muktabai, Namdev, Gora, Gonai, Ekanath, Tukaram, Narahari, Narsibai, Sajan Kasai, Savata, Ramdas and various others did appear at various times to show the right path to the people, and so presently came Sri Sai Baba of Shirdi. Shirdi, a holy Tirth. The banks of the Godavari river in the Ahmednagar district are very fortunate, for they gave birth and refuge to many a saint, prominent among them being Jnaneshwar. Shirdi also falls in the Kopagaon taluka of the Ahmednagar district. After crossing the Godavari river at Kopagaon, one gets the way to Shirdi. When you go 3 kos, you come to Neemgaon, from whence Shirdi is visible. Shirdi is as famous and well known as other holy places like Gangapur, Narasinvadi and Audumbar on the banks of Krishna river. As the devotee Damaji flourished in and blessed Mangal Veda as Samarth Ramdas at Sajangad and Sri Narasimha Saraswati at Saraswati Vadi, so Sainath flourished at Shirdi and blessed it. Personality of Sai Baba. It is on account of Sai Baba that Shirdi grew into importance. Let us see what sort of a personage Sai Baba was. He conquered this samsar, which is very difficult and hard to cross. Peace or mental calm was his ornament, and he was the repository of wisdom. He was the home to Vaishnava devotees, most liberal amongst liberals, the quintessence of all essences. He had no love for perishable things and was always engrossed in self-realization, which was his sole concern. He felt no pleasure in the things of this world or the world beyond. His anantarang was as clear as mirror, and his speech always rained nectar. The rich or the poor people were the same to him. He did not know or care or honor or dishonor. He was the Lord of all beings. He spoke freely and mixed with all people, saw the actings and dances of Nauch girls and heard ghazal songs. Still, he severed not an inch from Samadhi. The name of Allah was always on his lips. While the world awoke, he slept. And while the world slept, he was vigilant. His abdomen was as calm as deep sea. His ashram could not be determined, nor his actions could be definitely determined. And though he sat in one place, he knew all transactions of the world. His darbar was imposing. He told daily hundreds of stories. Still, he severed not an inch from his vow of silence. He always leaned against the wall in the masjid or walked morning, noon, and evening towards Lendi and Chavadi. Still, he at all times abided in the self. Though a Siddha, he acted like a Sadhaka. He was meek, humble, egoless, and pleased all. Such was Sai Baba, and as the soil of Shirdi was trodden by Sai Baba's feet, it attained extraordinary importance. As Jnaneshwar elevated Alandi, Eknath did to Paitan, so Sai Baba raised Shirdi. Blessed are the grass, leaves, stones of Shirdi, for they could easily kiss the holy feet of Sai Baba and take their dust on their head. Shirdi became to us, devotees, another Pandarpur, Jagannath, Dwaraka, Banaras, and Rameshwar, and Badrikedar, Nasik, Triambakeshwar, Ujjain, and Mahakaleshwar or Mahabaleshwar, Gokarn. Contact of Sai Baba in Shirdi was like our Veda and Tantra. It quieted our samsara and rendered self-realization easy. The darshana of Sri Sai was our yoga sadhana, and talk with him removed our sins. Shampooing his legs was our bath in Triveni Prayag, and drinking the holy water of his feet destroyed our desires. To us, his commands were Vedas, and accepting his Udi and Prasad was all purifying. He was our Sri Krishna and Sri Rama who gave us solace, and he was our Parabrahma. He was himself beyond the pair of Dwandas, never dejected or elated. He was always engrossed in his self as existence, knowledge, and bliss. Shirdi was his center, but his field of action extended far wide to Punjab, Calcutta, North India, Gujarat, Dhaka, and Konkan. Thus the fame of Sai Baba spread far and wide, and people from all parts came to take his darshana and be blessed. By mere darshan, minds of people, whether pure or impure, would become at once quiet. They got here the same sort of unparalleled joy that devotees get at Pandarpur by seeing Vittal Ragumai. This is not an exaggeration. Consider what a devotee says in this respect. Dictum of Gauli Buva. An old devotee by name Gauli Buva, aged about 95 years, was a Varkari of Pandari. He stayed 8 months at Pandarpur and 4 months Ashada to Kartik on the banks of Ganges. He had an ass with him for carrying his luggage and a disciple as his companion. Every year he made his wari or trip to Pandarpur and came to Shirdi to see Sai Baba, whom he loved the most. He used to stare at Baba and say, "This is Pandarinath Vittal incarnate, the merciful Lord of the poor and helpless." This Gauli Buva was an old devotee of Vidoba and had made many a trip to Pandari, and he testified that Sai Baba was the real Pandarinath. Vittal himself appeared. Sai Baba was very fond of remembering and singing God's name. He always uttered Allah Malik, and in his presence made others sing God's name continuously day and night for 7 days. This is called Namashaptaha. Once he asked Dasganu Maharaj to do the Namashaptaha. He replied that he would do it, provided he was assured that Vittal would appear at the end of the 7th day. Then Baba placed his hand on his breast, assured him that certainly Vittal would appear, but that the devotee must be earnest and devout. The Dankapuri of Thakurnath, the Pandari of Vittal, the Dwaraka of Ranchod is here. One need not go far out to see Dwaraka. Will Vittal come here from some outside place? He is here. Only when the devotee is bursting with love and devotion, Vittal will manifest himself here. After the Shapta was over, Vittal did manifest himself in the following manner. Kaka Saheb Dikshit was as usual sitting in meditation after the bath. He saw Vittal in a vision. When he went at noon for Baba's darshana, Baba asked him point blank, "Did Vittal Patil come? Did you see him? He is a very truant fellow. Catch him firmly, otherwise he will escape if you be a little unattentive." This happened in the morning, and at noon there was another Vittal Darshana. One hawker from outside came there for selling 25 or 30 pictures of Vithoba. This picture exactly tailed with the figure that appeared in Kaka Saheb's vision. On seeing this and remembering Baba's words, Kaka Saheb Dikshit was much surprised and delighted. He bought one picture of Vithoba and placed it in his shrine for worship. Bhagavantrao Shirsagar's story. How fond was Baba for Vittal worship was illustrated in Bhagavantrao Shirsagar's story. The father of Bhagavantrao was a devotee of Vithoba and used to make varis to Pandarpur. He also had an image of Vithoba at home which he worshipped. After his death, the son stopped everything, the vari, the worship and Shraddha ceremony, etc. When Bhagavantrao came to Shirdi, Baba, on remembering his father, at once said, "His father was my friend, so I dragged him here. He never offered Naivedya, and so he starved Vittal and me, so I brought him here. I shall remonstrate him now and set him to worship." Das Ganu's bath in Prayag. The Hindus think that a bath in the holy Tirth of Prayag, where the Ganga and Yamuna meet, is a very meritorious, and thousands of pilgrims go there at periodical times to have the sacred bath there. Once Das Kanu thought that he should go to Prayag for a bath and come to Baba to get his permission for doing so. Baba replied to him, "It is not necessary to go so long. Our Prayag is here, believe me." Then, wonder of wonders, when Das Kanu placed his head on Baba's feet, out came or flowed streams of Ganga Yamuna river from both toes of Baba. Seeing this miracle, Das Kanu was overwhelmed with feelings of love and adoration and was full of tears. Inwardly, he felt inspired, and his speech burst forth into a song in praise of Baba and his Leelas. Immaculate Conception of Sai Baba and his first advent in Shirdi. Nobody knew the parents' birth or birthplace of Sai Baba. Many inquiries were made, many questions were put to Baba and other regarding these items, but no satisfactory answer or information has yet been obtained. Practically, we know nothing about these matters. Namdev and Kabir were not born like ordinary mortals. They were found as infants in mother of pearls, Namdev being found on the bank of Bhimarati river by Gonai and Kabir on the bank of Bhagirathi river by Tamil. Similar was the case with Sai Baba. He first manifested himself as a young lad of 16 under a neem tree in Shirdi for the sake of Bhaktas. Even then, he seemed to be full with the knowledge of Brahman. He had no desire for worldly objects, even in dream. He kicked out Maya, and Mukti was serving at his feet. One old woman of Shirdi, the mother of Nana Chopdar, described him thus: "This young lad, fair, smart and very handsome, was first seen under the neem tree, seated in an asan. People of the village were wonderstruck to see such a young lad practicing hard penance, not minding the heat and the cold. By day he associated with none, by night he was afraid of nobody. People were wondering and asking whence this young chap had turned up. His form and features were so beautiful that a mere look endeared him to all. He went to nobody's door, always sat near the neem tree. Outwardly he looked very young, but by his action he was really a great soul. He was the embodiment of dispassion and was an enigma to all. One day it so happened that god Kandoba possessed the body of some devotee, and people began to ask him, 'Deva, you please inquire what blessed father's son is this lad, and whence did he came?' God Kandoba asked them to bring a pickaxe and dig in a particular place. When it was dug, bricks were found underneath a flat stone. When the stone was removed, a corridor led to a cellar where cow mouth-shaped structures, wooden boats, necklaces were seen. Kandoba said, 'This lad practiced penance here for 12 years. Then the people began to question the lad about this. He put them off the scent by telling them that it was his guru's place, his holy wanton, and requested them to guard it well. The people then closed the corridor as before. As Ashwatha and Audumbar trees are held sacred, Baba regarded this neem tree equally sacred and loved it the most. Mahasalpati and other Shirdi devotees regard this site as the resting place of Baba's Guru and prostrate before it. Three Vadas. The site with the neem tree and surrounding space was bought by Mr. Hari Vinayak Sate, and on this site a big building style Sate's Vada was erected. This Vada was the sole resting place for pilgrims who flocked there. A par was built around the neem tree and lofts with steps were constructed. Under the steps there is a niche facing south and devotees sit on the par facing north. It is believed that he who burns incense there on Thursday and Friday evenings will, by God's grace, be happy. This Vada was old and dilapidated and wanted repairs. The necessary repairs, additions, and alterations have been made now by the Sansthan. Then, after some years, another Vada, Dikshit's Vada, was constructed. Kaka Saheb Dikshit, solicitor of Bombay, had gone to England. He had injured his leg by an accident there. The injury could not be got rid of any means. Nana Saheb Chandorkar advised him to try Sai Baba. So he saw Sai Baba in 1909 AD and requested him to cure rather the lameness of his mind than that of his leg. He was so much pleased with the darshana of Sai Baba. So he built a Vada for himself and other devotees. The foundation of this building was laid on 10/12/1910. On this day, two other important events took place. Mr. Dada Saheb Kapare was given permission to return home, and the night aarti in Chavadi was commenced. The Vada was complete and was inhabited on the Ramanavami day in 1911 AD with due rites and formalities. Then other Vada or palatial mansion was put up by the famous milliner Mr. Booty of Nagpur. Lots of money was spent on this building, but all the amount was well utilized, as Sai Baba's body is resting in this Vada, which is now called the Samadhi Mandir. The site of this mandir had formerly a garden which was watered and looked after by Baba. Three Vadas thus sprang up, where there was none formerly. Of these, Sate's Vada was most useful to all in the early days. The story of the garden, attended to by Sai Baba with the help of Vaman Tatya, the temporary absence of Sai Baba from Shirdi and his coming again to Shirdi with the marriage party of Chand Patil, the company of Devi Das, Janaki Das and Gangagir, Baba's wrestling match with Mohuddin Tamboli, residence in Masjid, love of Mr. Dangale, and other devotees and other incidences will be described in the next chapter. Bow to Sri Sai, peace be to all. And this brings us to the end of chapter 4.